The two main objectives of the coach are to improve and to stabilize the performance of his team. The primary means of improving performance is training. The primary means of stabilizing performance is practice. In both training and practice, the coach sets up an artificial challenge, which the players then try to overcome.
Keep it back, Donnie. Outside, Donnie. He's got Simon. Simon's got wrecked. Good pressure, Jay. Jay. Fall back, Red. Fall back. Push up now. Fall back, Matt. Stick on Robin. Keep back. Touch back.
The difference between training and practice is that in training, the coach actively assists the players to find their own way of meeting the challenge.
And stop!
Wait for him to get. If he's not that, then you can play it straight back. But here, yeah, we don't want to play. Yeah, exactly. Let me see the ball. So, you see, Dave's not there yet. Brent's putting pressure on you, so Brent comes in, and that's a good risky pass up front. You'd want to risk it. Maybe put it by him waist high. But
in the initial stages of learning a targeted skill, the coach devotes more time to training. After a player has mastered the basic elements of the targeted skill, the coach will allocate more time to practice. The most effective training focuses on achieving one specific objective at a time. The choice of this objective is based on an analysis of the team's last performance in the context of an imaginary ideal performance potential.
Good decision, great! Yes, good, Simon! Defense is completely empty here.
Although soccer performance is an undivided whole, coaches have found it useful to analyze it as if it had three basic dimensions: technique, tactics, and fitness. The coach constantly compares his team's current performance level with an imaginary ideal performance level for that particular team. The coach will devote the most training time to improving whichever area falls furthest from the ideal. The essence of training is a dialogue, an exchange between player and coach. The coach challenges the player.
That's it, Jason. That's it. Can you get behind him? Can you get behind him?
The player's response to that challenge is his performance.
If it goes out, it's the other team's ball.
This performance is itself a challenge to the coach.
Keep him here, Matt. Keep him here. Oh, nice up. Come on, Brent. Come on. Nice going, Jason. Nice going. Good.
If the player is having difficulty, the most positive response by the coach is correction. The most basic form of correction is freezing play. There are 4 distinct steps. First, the coach stops the action as close to the precise instant at which the player had difficulty as possible.
And stop! Okay, give him that ball again.
Even if the player had several problems, the coach draws his attention to only one key factor. This has the effect of making the game seem subjectively simpler.
Between you and him, and stop for a second.
In tactical training, the coach will physically point to the visual cue which the player did not recognize and briefly explain its significance.
Now, coming in here like this, when you see this is all congested, you were back there a bit, Robin. When you see this all congested like that, now it's time to get out and we can attack the other side. And now from Robin's position back here, we've got a much easier chance over to Jason or over to Dan.
The language of this explanation is simple, positive, and free from jargon. The coach uses words like can and will, which convey the sense of widening possibility, instead of must and should, which convey the sense that the coach is narrowing the player's possibilities.
That is the thing that makes him vulnerable. You can actually freeze him if you go at him and then push it to this side, and now you've got your shot.
Next, the coach demonstrates an alternative solution. The player then rehearses the solution. The coach will often take the defender's place to ensure that the important visual cue is accurately repeated.
You try it against me. Look quicker, nice and aggressive. 2/3 your top speed. Let's go. Yes!
The coach then restarts the exercise by repeating as closely as possible the action which led up to the difficulty. This allows the player to test whether the correction was indeed a solution. The coach will observe the restart carefully to make sure the player is on the right track. Individual tactical behavior in attack is based on the first attacker's interpretation of innumerable visual cues. For the sake of clarity, these visual cues have been artificially divided into 3 basic levels. These levels then serve to structure the whole training session. At the individual level, the first attacker must decide how to outplay his immediate opponent in order to penetrate. This decision is based primarily on visual cues coming from the first defender's body. At the group level, the first attacker will base his decision on visual cues coming from the players in the area closest to the ball. Finally, at the team level, the remaining players, as well as the first attacker's position on the field, enter into consideration. The 2 essential pillars of common-sense tactical training are clarity and realism. The coach's organization will first give the players an opportunity to interpret the primary visual cues in the simplest and clearest context.
Put it behind him. Can you get great stuff!
The coach will then gradually change the organization of the exercises so that the players can pick these visual cues out of the most realistic environment possible.
Live, play! Careful. Yes, Dave! Good decision, Dave!
The more realistic the training game, the easier it will be for the players to apply what they have achieved in training during a real game. For these reasons, tactical training is best conducted in the context of individual, group, and team games. The first step is a game with no goals. This is not a possession game. It is a penetration game. The attacker's objective is to penetrate past the defender.
Wherever I am, Brent's putting pressure on me. I'm trying to get behind Brent. Okay, you got it? So just let me go by. I'm trying to get behind Brent. Brent comes and puts pressure on me.
The defender's objectives are first to deny that penetration, and second to win back possession of the ball.
Brent is going to try and keep me here. Okay? You keep me here, keep me here. If you get the ball away from me, boom, now I'm going to try and keep him there. Okay? He's going to try and get behind me wherever I am. Okay, if he gets there, now I'm going to see if I can keep him over here.
Since the attacker's objective is defined in terms of the defender's position, the attacker has the opportunity to read these visual cues in their clearest form.
Good. Trap him, David.
They are, however, in their least realistic form. By adding a goal, the coach increases the level of realism because now the attacker's objective is defined by the area, not by the defender.
Still play. Great stuff. Good stuff, Jason.
The final step of the individual phase of training is a game between 2 goals. In this setting, the visual cues coming from the defender's body can become blurred in the alternation between attack and counterattack. The attacker now has the opportunity to interpret the primary visual cues in their most realistic setting. This completes the individual phase of the training session. When 5 or fewer teammates are added to the first attacker, he becomes part of a group. Small group games differ from team games primarily because any member of the group can both pass to and exchange places with any other member of the group. The numbers and distances, therefore, are too small to require a relaying or midfield function. In the group phase of training, the first attacker gets a chance to practice reading those visual cues which tell him whether to pass, to dribble, or to shoot. A relaying or midfield function begins naturally to emerge when the number of players in a group increases beyond 7. This function is the main feature which distinguishes group games from team games. In a team game, the parts of the field itself are important visual cues, which indicate where it is sensible to take a risk and where it is more sensible to be safe.
Time!
That's good, safe decision.
I like it!
The simplicity and realism of these activities make them almost perfectly neutral. No feature of the organization makes any of these exercises better suited for tactical training and attack than tactical training and defense. The exercises are merely settings which provide the coach an opportunity to make corrections which will effectively improve the team's performance in games. In fact, the only thing which gives this session a focus is the theme running through the coach's corrections.
And stop for a second. Stop. Okay, give him that ball again. Go back to the other side a bit. And now, when you see you've got this much distance here, let me see the ball now, Matt. Ball comes into you. Yeah, now go at him. You're not going to go at him at 100% your top speed, but you're going to go at him fast enough so that the rest of the defense can't organize against you, because they're weak here.
Players find realistic challenges more appealing, and therefore their performance level in training will be higher.
Good. Play.
The coach cannot train everything, but the players can practice everything. Because it is both physically and technically demanding, realistic training allows the players to stabilize these aspects of their performance while they are improving the tactical aspect. The drawback of increasing the realism of the training exercises is that the frequency with which the targeted skill can be practiced decreases. The warm-up gives the players the opportunity to gradually adapt themselves both physically and psychologically to the demands of the training session. In every training exercise, the coach will clearly define 3 important elements. First, the players of both teams must be clearly distinguished.
Who's in the middle? All right, here we go. You're in the middle, and who else is in the middle? Make the 2 cones out. Okay, Robin.
Second, both teams must have a clear objective.
You 2 guys are the next pair. Yep. You guys stay in for 2 minutes. Then you 2 guys come in. Then you 2 guys come in. All right? And then you 2 guys come in. 2 minutes, whether you get the ball or not. All right? The way you get out earlier is if you 2 guys make a pass between you. So one gets it and makes a pass. All right? Let's play.
Lastly, the area should be defined. Goalkeepers require specialized training, so they warm up separately with their own coach. All 3 1-versus-1 games are played in the same areas which were used for the warm-up. The resting players stand around the area in order to keep track of the balls. Each game involves 4 players from each team. This creates a work-to-rest ratio of 1:3. The 2 4-versus-4 games are played on adjacent fields. Both fields measure 42 yards by 30 yards. Like the smaller games, these fields do not share a common boundary. The coach uses the corridor between the 2 fields as his position. The teams alternate between attacking and defending a full-sized goal.
Change ends!
This gives the players realistic opportunities in which to practice making the most important decision that a field player makes: when to shoot. Small-sided games with full-sized goals are the most efficient context for this type of practice.
I like it!
The balls are placed either behind the small goal or in the big goal, so that the exercise can restart without wasting training time. Since the team phase of training is an 8-versus-8 game, the full field would be too large. With the goals placed on the top of the penalty areas, the field has been reduced to an area measuring 84 yards by 60 yards. The offside law applies, so the halfway line becomes another important visual cue. Attackers, defenders, and particularly goalkeepers suffer from the lack of accurate penalty area markings. The coaches add a 6-yard box using practice vests to help the goalkeepers judge crosses.
Keep back! Keep. Outside.
Okay, fellas, come on in. Come on in, bring all the balls. Keepers come in.
It is essential that the coach be able to command the attention of his players in a positive way.
Yeah, just like there, facing this way. Bring all the balls in. Okay.
The coach's manner is the most important factor in this skill.
Jonah, we need 4 balls here. Take all the rest of the balls, put them in the goals. 2 keepers down there, and we're going to start out 6'2", so 1, 2.
He is purposeful without being rigid.
This is a game ball. No, I'll take it.
You can take an hour off.
And here. Take those. All right, now there's a goal.
He takes charge of the environment and moves things forward at a brisk pace without sounding dictatorial.
Pull these cones down. Oh, sorry. A little bit narrower, but a little bit longer.
Mike, bring them longer but narrower.
The coach respects his players. He understands that their desire to train hard cannot be separated from a need to have fun.
Last one sitting. Jay, down.
Oh, you too.
Doesn't matter, it's the youngest. It's the youngest two. It's the
You
two.
too.
No, it's
You
the
too.
strongest. Nice, man.
Well done, Matt.
Yeah.
Hey, that's great. That's good. That's super, Jay. Okay, and stop. And everybody come over here. Leave those cones exactly the way they are. Come over here and just stand right there.
The coach gathers the players with their backs to the most dominant distraction, which in this case is the sun.
Just stand out here. Pressure.
Outside. Donnie.
The coach does not lecture the players. The coach demands his players' attention only when it is necessary and only when he has something important to say.
Okay, stop. Yeah, it's got to be man-to-man, tight pressure on the ball as soon as the ball turns over, okay? Steve, help out with that. Robin, help out with that as soon as it happens, okay? Play.
He speaks in simple
Pressure here,
sentences.
Danny, pressure.
He does not use jargon, and he is brief.
Yeah. Man-to-man, the real thing now, the real thing. Okay, just give it a shot.
The players want to believe that their coach is committed to doing a professional job, and the coach's appearance supports that belief.
That's all right. Ready to start live.
Did it.
Okay, and stop for a second.
The best training sessions have a clear thread running through them.
The tricky part about reading a good defender like Dan, the way to make him easier.
In this session, the coach consistently focuses his corrections on the decisions of the first attacker.
Knees bent, but that will force him to take bigger strides. Now, you see, if he can shuffle and change and shuffle, now you don't know which way to go. Now it's hard to read him. But if you can make him make big strides, then it'll be a lot easier. So if you go right at him really quick, then it'll be a lot easier.
Before a player can make a good decision, he must be able to see the important visual cues.
Now you can flick it here, flick it there, but you can see everything. But if you turn to the side here a little bit like that, it'll be harder to get it to him. Give me that same ball again.
Therefore, the most important theme in tactical training is vision.
Like that, and now you got all your options, you can see everything. All right, you give it a try.
The most important problem encountered, besides ball control, is the attacker's ability to get the information he needs to make the best decision. Player receiving the pass was unaware of the defender and therefore did not know what to do with his first touch. And in this case, the attacker was unaware that he had room to turn with the ball and penetrate. One simple technique which allows attackers to see important visual cues is to try to have the hips as close to facing the goal as possible before the ball arrives. In this example, you see the attacker preparing his hips at the back of the team. And at the front of the team. Here the attacker can see the nearest defender before the ball arrives, and therefore knows he can turn forward with his first touch. His stance enables him to accelerate forward into his dribble.
The central skill of vision is recognizing when it's possible to face fully forward with the ball.
And if on your first touch you can get here. All right, can you do that? Yeah. I'll defend you. Hit it the same ball, same ball. Okay, boom. Yes, yes, yes. And it's just so it's out in front of you. Now you've got any choice you want. You can go at him, take a touch and go by him, or shoot it, or make a pass. Ready to go live, just with your hands like that then, Matt. Okay, and we're live on his touch, not before. Okay, play, boom, turn and face. Yes, good. Can you shoot it? Good, and you buy him.
Time!
Donnie, look. Go wide.
Time, Donnie.
Go in the middle. Donnie, chip it up.
No center, no center, no center.
Ricky, middle. Simon, one touch.
Oh, good turn, Ricky.
Ricky. That's way. Drop it, Rick. Rick, middle.
Rick gets on the middle.
That's it, that's it.
Help,
Keep facing forward, keep facing forward, keep facing forward. Good. Good goal, Reds, good goal. Okay, and stop.
The coach sets up each new exercise quickly and without any lengthy explanations.
So it's 1v1, 2 goals. You go, Jason. Set it up. So it's just live 1v1. Make the goals just a little bit bigger. And you guys on the side, make sure you collect these balls. Okay, collecting balls. Now, red team. Red team, you guys stay on that side.
A brisk pace keeps the players' attention and helps them to ignore distractions like fatigue or the weather.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Ready to go? 1 minute each time. Ready and play. Can you go quicker? Reds, you can play, Reds back here. Yellows on that side. So you're attacking to 1 goal. All right, let's just see what it looks like and just play. Yeah,
the most effective way of communicating the details of a new exercise is to use one group to demonstrate to the other.
Ooh, almost. And we're live. We're still live. We're still live. Good. And start up with yellows again. Start up with yellows. Oh, that's good. And now yellows will start again then. And you pass it up to the yellows. You pass it out to Mike. And we start. Okay, got the idea? And stop. And stop. Fine, fine. Okay, next pair in, because these guys did a good job demonstrating. Okay, make a same exact thing here. Yeah, good, Donnie, good. Don't start yet. 1 minute. 1 minute bouts.
Go hard, go hard, go hard.
An important feature of any team is leadership.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Brent, you decide how fast we go.
Okay.
The coach selects a captain for each activity and encourages this person's leadership.
Good, 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 good.
You gotta make a pass.
And that's a pass. All right, you guys are out. Okay, so Robin,
So Simon
you
and
decide
Brendan.
how fast we're going.
Dave, you guys on the outside now. You guys on the outside. It's Dylan, you and Jason go out now since you guys are the first group in.
Robin, you're in charge from the midfield forward of the defending. Okay, first 3 minutes or so, let's really get that right. Okay, everybody matched up, real intense pressure, the whole thing. All right, ready to start in like 2 minutes? Yeah, hard, hard, hard!
During the first few minutes of action, the coach will carefully check 4 essential elements of a good exercise. First, the coach will check to see if the players understand the exercise.
Yeah, if the defenders have to go way outside the square, then it's off. Okay, Reds, defend this goal, defend the small goal. Reds, defend a small goal. Ball's in place. Start out with the goalkeepers in possession. Goalkeepers in possession, no corner kicks. Balls in the goals, just not goalkeeper in possession. Goalkeeper in possession to start out with. Okay, play!
Second, the coach will check the performance of the group to see if the players are performing with a realistic level of intensity.
Sort it out, man to man, man to man, man to man.
The coach realizes that his players will be ill-prepared to attack good defending in a game unless they've developed the ability to overcome good defending during training.
Okay, stop for a second.
Therefore, the coach devotes the first few minutes raising the standard of defending before making any corrections in attack.
Man to man, as soon as they get the ball, man to man right away. Let's go. Mark up! That's better. That's more like it. That's more like it. Pressure, pressure, pressure. That's it. That's it. That's looking good. Looking good.
Since the message is one of aggression, that aggression is reflected in the volume and tone of his voice.
Still alive. Still alive. Still alive. Come on. Come on. Pressure.
Hold it.
Press him. Press him. Press him. Press him.
When the group's performance is at the right level, the exercise should have the look and sound of real soccer.
Get out. Get up, Simon. Get it up. Bring it up, Simon. All right. Stick on your man. Look. Dave, man, on your back, Dave. Get up. Dave. Knock it up, Johnny.
Keep up!
Not bad, Dave. Not bad.
Having paid attention to the performance of the group, the coach is now ready to observe the specific performance of individuals.
Pressure on.
Hey, coming out of the back here, when you're in the right here in the back of your, who was putting pressure on, Mike? Yeah. Okay. As soon as you see that when you're in the right here in the back, and you got one guy putting a lot of pressure on, you're a little closer. All right, turn right around, and let's get out the other side, because what they have up here is 2 versus 3.
All players have some degree of innate tactical sense, as can be seen from these examples. Since the best tactical behavior is intuitive, the coach will stabilize each player's strengths through unexamined practice.
Nice skill, David. Good decision, David.
It is a mistake to call every player's conscious attention to every detail of tactical behavior with a lecture on good soccer. For example, when an attacker recognizes that he has just enough space to turn toward the defender while exposing the ball, excellent attackers will lift the ball slightly in order to avoid a tackle. In this squad of players, one recognizes when to do it,
Have a shot.
while another requires a demonstration to start the process of acquiring that skill.
Let me see this. If he's chasing you and you're just going to go and turn on him, you do it to me. Come on. See if you can lift it. Okay, as you turn, you're going to try and lift it up in the air. That'll get it over his foot. Here, you do it to me. So you're running away. Yeah, a little higher. Try it. Here. So you're running away. Here. Yeah. Try that. Okay, chase him. Yeah, that's kind of it. Nice tackle. That's exactly it, by the way.
If the coach attempted to solve every problem, he would stifle the flow of training.
Stop for a second. And see if you can make it first touch. Just give me that same ball. If you can make it first touch here like that, rather than facing him like this. So now you don't know what's behind you. It's going to be harder to get it over to Jason over there. Just make your first touch here. Go on, play it into me. Just boom, like that. Now, if he's coming at you, you can dodge him either side.
The coach will wait to allow the exercise to regain its momentum before stopping it again, even when a problem that has just been corrected occurs again within a minute or two.
Get to it! Well done.
The coach's position should enable him to observe, to keep out of the way, and yet still allow him to stop the action quickly to make a correction. In this example, the coach is so far from the player he is trying to stop that he can't be heard.
Stop! Stand still! Stop! Simon, stop! Simon! Back here.
The solution is to position inside the field when the action is on the far side, and then to move quickly off the field when the action comes to his side.
Good one. That's a good decision.
Lock up. Simon, Brett, Ricky, go Jason.
The solution is not to use a whistle. A whistle during a soccer game is not a signal to freeze. It is a signal to take very specific action. The coach uses his whistle in the same way it would be used in a game.
Foul. Red foul. And play. Yeah, play. Okay, but you can go
In this
either
example,
way.
the coach treats a physical
Get your
problem
hips
as if it were a
nice and
tactical
tight.
problem.
You can see what's on
The
either
defender is physically
side.
quicker than the attacker.
I'll take your spot for a second. Okay, so it's this distance here. As soon as you see that, you're going to turn and face, yeah? And then if I come, yes, exactly.
The attacker's decision to protect the ball in an overly cautious way is not based on a misreading of the available space, but rather on an accurate reading of the defender's physical superiority.
All right, play live. Play live. Ready to go? And play. Yeah, face him if you can. You give it a try, and I'll take Simon's place. Okay, so back up here, back up here. All right, and you were running away from him, right? And he was just coming up here like that, and bang! Just exactly like that. Okay, let's try it live.
Here, although the coach makes a valid point, because he does not make sure that the restart is accurate, the player is still uncertain of how to resolve the problem.
Okay, ready? And start. And play. Yeah, and it might be the other way. Yeah, it might be the other way.
There is an important link between the ability of the players and the activities which the coach chooses to do. For this reason, no two training sessions will look the same. If, for example, the range of the player's abilities is low, and the coach chooses a very difficult activity, it will intimidate the players. Their performance level will drop due to anxiety. If, on the other hand, the range of abilities of the team is high, and the coach chooses an activity which is too easy, then the team's performance level will drop due to boredom. The ideal middle ground is referred to as flow, which describes the player's subjective feeling when facing a challenge which is completely absorbing. At this level of performance, the player's decisions can achieve a level of creativity beyond even the coach's expertise, as exemplified by this imaginative combination down the left flank.
Yes, William.
Mark up, mark up.
Back!
Jack!
Once the coach has determined that the exercise matches the ability of the players, he will gradually raise their ability level. When the coach senses that the players have either mastered the exercise or that they have lost interest in it, he will progress to a new, more challenging exercise. This is the essence of a sensible progression of exercises. The coach is an integral part of the team. On the best teams, the players regard the coach as a teammate in the sense that his performance depends on their own commitment.
Expose the ball a little bit.
They come to training determined to train with enthusiasm, discipline, and intensity. The coach respects the player's need to be challenged in a useful but interesting way and responds to that need with a simple, flexible, yet carefully planned training program.
Good.
This collaboration, like the experience of any high-level teamwork, can be deeply satisfying for everyone. Competitive sports is a world where final scores often determine who is called a winner, regardless of who has triumphed. The genuine collaboration of player and coach in training is one such triumph.
Maybe you want to cover a little play now?